right, welcome back to the Scary Value Podcast. Pete, we're doing a watch-along today.
What are we watching?
A Nightmare on Elm Street. Would you like to tell people why we're watching A Nightmare on Elm Street?
I thought I just watched that one.
Well, that's part of the problem, yeah.
Why? What did I watch?
You watched Wes Craven's New Nightmare and couldn't place any of the things that were callbacks to the original movie.
Oh, that's right.
So it really made sense to make you watch the original movie and go, see?
I don't remember the original movie that well, despite Freddy being my favorite of the iconic horror people.
I think it was clear if anybody listened to Wes Craven's New Nightmare that you did not remember the original movie very well.
No, I know one thing about that movie. Do you know what I know about that movie? Because I know what I know about that movie.
The one thing you know about the original Nightmare on Elm Street?
Mm-hmm.
God, there's so many things it should be. You remember Johnny Depp's Pool of Blood?
Yep. It was his first appearance. And do you know why it was his first appearance?
I walked into a trap.
Do you know why? I'll tell you why. It's because Mr. Nicolas Cage said, hey, man, you should go check out this acting thing. Because at the time, Johnny Depp wanted to be a musician. And Nicolas Cage was like, no, man, you're an actor. And then he was.
Just for this trap that you laid. The next watch along we're doing is Megan.
I feel that is like an
unnecessary punishment.
Unnecessary, inappropriate response. Hey, I'd also like to point out that I didn't bring up Megan this time.
No, but it's always out there hanging over us.
It really is. I like Allison Williams so much. All right, so this is, what are we watching?
Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984. From
1984, the original. Is Freddy a friendly Freddy, like a jokey one, or is he just straight up murdery?
I know he loves kids. That's the one thing I know.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing I know about these things.
They start Jeffrey Jones.
Damn it. Are you just going to keep bringing him up in the hope that he dies?
I mean...
It's worked so far.
There are worse things that could happen. Anyway, just go ahead if you want to watch along with us, although we know it's never that important. Just pause it when the New Line Cinema logo is about to start. There's a red line, and it's going to turn into the New Line Cinema logo. So,
the thin red line?
Yes.
That also starred Johnny Depp?
He was not. Was he in there?
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of Platoon.
No, I think he's definitely in Platoon, but there's like 1,000 name actors that just appear in that movie. So like I didn't just dismiss it out of hand, although I don't think he's in that.
I don't think he's, but you're right. That's why I thought about it.
Clooney shows up, Travolta, Sean Penn.
I've never seen that movie, but I know it was everyone.
It's real good. Everyone's favorite Christian actor, Jim Caviezel, is the star, and Adrian Brody.
Was he Jesus in that Jesus movie?
Yeah, and I think he thinks he is in real life too. He's off trying to save those kids from Jeffrey Jones. We shouldn't give him such a hard time like this.
All right.
So if you pause it when that red line's there or close to it, it's not that scene specific, so it doesn't matter that much. We're going to wait for this airplane to go by.
Ooh, airplane. I don't think anyone can hear it. I'll talk over it. I'll sing me a song, I will. I'll be like Johnny Depp before Nicolas Cage talked to him.
We're going to count down from 3 and ignore Pete. And here we go. And we're going to go 3, 2, 1, play. So play on play. 3, 2, kid, and play.
That was nice. I like that reference.
I remembered it from last time.
Did you... I didn't remember it, but did you see the new one? Didn't they remake that movie?
Yes.
Okay. Is this a callback to the first one or the one I saw?
Yeah, it's from New Line Cinema.
Is that Freddy?
That is Freddy.
Freddy's walking, ooh.
He's going to do a montage. He's going to craft his nails.
A montage.
Everybody loves a montage and a prequel.
Is there music happening? Why is he... Okay.
Oh, yeah, we got to turn this down.
Ooh, good thing there's no talking.
I didn't think before I hit play.
Okay. So this is the origin of Freddy Krueger. He's just a guy in a basement, for some reason making a knife hand glove.
Boiler Room.
Boiler Room Freddy. That's a cool nickname.
It's a cool glove.
It really is.
He's the Wolverine.
So Jason's got the mask. Freddy's got the glove.
Michael Myers also has the mask.
Also has a mask. That's why I think I confuse Michael Myers, because Jason's easier to say.
I think it's because you're an idiot.
Well, that works too.
Now, this is interesting because here's Tina, and she's presented as the main character, but she's not going to make it that long.
Okay. So this came out at the... I'm trying to place it within the horror. In the...
84.
84, right. But where is that? What has come out around it kind of thing? Where does it fit into the...
We were up to Friday the 13th, Part 4. And Halloween 3.
Really?
Yeah.
It's that late in the...
It's doing something new with the genre. It's introducing the dream element and the supernatural element. So the genre needed something new, and Wes Craven found something new.
Okay. And it was because he had those nightmares, right? Or he read about people having nightmares and dying, allegedly.
Yes, people young. I think they were Cambodian, like 2 or 3 Cambodian kids.
I know it was someone. We should ask our foreign correspondent.
Were saying they were afraid to fall asleep, and then their families were like they're worried about them, and then they died in their sleep, and they found the stuff like a coffee pot in their room, and they were having nightmares about their death, and then it ended up happening. Huh. So he thought that's a scary story.
Yep, I remember. I think it scared me more than the others because that idea of the dreams, and you don't have any control of them.
So this was scarier than the others?
Yeah. I know that's how you tell time, but this was definitely scarier than the others.
The funny thing is I think I keep getting the year wrong, so I've been off a year on all of the others content we've done.
I see.
I think it actually came out in 2001.
So how old are my kids?
So this is 15 years pre-others.
I see. 15 years pre-others.
This movie...
P.O.
This movie extended the slasher run beyond what it should have been because the subgenre had just begun to fade out. And then this came in and revitalized. It became the most successful franchise of the bunch and kept it running through the 80s. But by 84, everybody thinks of the slashers as running through the whole 80s. They kind of were dead by 84, but this brought it back.
Okay, so it was a run from whenever Halloween was?
78 to about 83, 82, 83. They just ran out of ideas, and then this brought in really fresh ideas.
When was Gremlins?
84.
Oh, okay.
Not a slasher movie, so I don't know how it's relevant.
I just like Gremlins.
84, a good year for movies, though.
That's a tire company and also a blimp.
I don't know if this is, it has to be intentional that they're starting with this character and she's not going to be the main character, but it's interesting. Because, movies didn't do things like this.
No.
Psycho did, but nobody else really did it.
All right. See, the problem I have now is I haven't seen this movie in so long, I want to sit here and watch it.
Well, it is a watch-along, Pete. You're allowed to do that.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything else, and I'll ask you to be quiet because I don't like it when people talk through movies. It's very annoying.
How long do you think we can keep that up for?
I was so bored. Oh, my God. I don't know. So people are talking about nothing. So what's new?
I don't know when this is coming out, so I don't know how to answer that. Hopefully Jeffrey Jones is dead.
That would be cool. So now she's dreaming or something?
We mentioned before I couldn't remember if this song was in the original. It definitely is, because there it is.
Oh, the 1-2 Freddy's Coming For You?
Yes.
By the way, Kitty, my wife, hates that song.
Really?
I taught the kids it, earlier when they were younger and didn't know what it meant, and it really did not make her happy. In fact, I think she yelled at the kids.
And she yelled at your kid for playing Bloody Mary.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She's afraid of a lot of things.
Yeah, the 8-year-old was standing in the bathroom mirror, just looking at the mirror and saying Bloody Mary very quietly to the mirror. It was awesome.
We have another plane.
She did not appear.
There's
All right.
Heather Langenkamp playing Nancy.
Heather, why do I know that name?
Because you watched Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Oh, yeah. She was the lady who played herself from this movie.
We missed all of Rod's good lines when he said he woke up with a hard-on with Tina's name on it. And she said, there's 4 letters in my name. How could it fit on your joint?
Ooh.
And then he says,
sick burn.
Up yours with a twirling lawnmower.
A twirling lawnmower.
He's one of those characters like happens in Twin Peaks where just for some reason in the 80s and 90s, these 50s greasers just pop up.
I like that. I think that had some sort of effect on my childhood because I thought that was cool. Like Happy Days, for some reason, was still kind of there.
I think that's probably why this is happening, yeah.
It was a weird time. Nostalgia for something that happened like 10 years ago.
Well, this would have been 84, so yeah, I guess Happy Days was the 70s, yeah. So they're having nostalgia for the Fonz.
Yeah.
And then Wes Craven would put the Fonz in Scream.
That's
12
right.
years later.
He sure did.
Yeah.
That's all his movies are based on is Happy Days nostalgia.
You've cracked it.
Oh, I worked hard on it. Cracked it like an egg.
Wonder how Johnny Depp got this job. Moving on.
Well, I can tell you. I have lots of stuff to
But
talk
you missed
about.
the part that's true.
What?
That he was cast because Wes Craven was looking for a football player. He wanted a jock. He's supposed to be a jock. And then his daughter saw the picture of Johnny Depp when he came into audition and said, that's the guy. And so he cast Johnny Depp even though he's supposed to be a jock and he's the least jock-like person. Later, he's wearing a football jersey. It looks hilarious.
That has nothing to do with Nicolas Cage, so I don't know what you're talking about.
What was Nicolas Cage doing in 84?
Something cool, I bet. If I remember,
That's around Valley Girls 83, I think.
he might have been chauffeuring Tom Waits around.
Yeah, but Valley Girls, I think 83. So he was starting to. Raising Arizona was like 85, 87. So
Look,
it was in the middle of the.
Don't question what
Company.
Nicolas Cage does with his free time. All right,
That's not free time. That's work.
Well,
That's what
maybe.
he was working on.
Well, look, I think he had a lot of tax problems at some point.
It was well after this. He didn't have any money at this point.
Well, maybe, I don't remember how long ago that article was from where Tom Waits had a chauffeur, and it might have been like in the 90s.
I'm just trying to figure out why he didn't go out for this part himself.
Because he was too big for this.
Was he in 84?
Of course he was. He's Nicolas Cage. Did you see him in Valley Girl?
No.
Me neither.
I heard that clip, though.
Me too.
Like, fuck off, man, for real.
That's a pretty good Nicolas Cage.
I think he'd been a pretty good Johnny Depp in this movie.
I like Johnny Depp
Now,
in this movie.
Here's where we find out something strange is happening because they're having the same dream, which we know is ridiculous, but they all have it.
So right now, we still think Tina is our main character.
We're at Tina's house. We met her mother. They're having a sleepover at her house. Like, the whole thing centers around her. She's the one who had the nightmare. We saw they all had it.
Okay. So we get a nice swerve coming when we find out that what's her name again? Nancy Kerrigan?
Nancy Thompson.
Nancy Thompson, not Kerrigan. That was an ice skater.
She looks a little bit like Nancy Kerrigan.
That's what I thought, but I didn't want to say it because that seems mean to say you look like somebody.
Does it?
Hey, you look like the Pringles guy from the Pringles cans.
But there's many things wrong with that. But thank you. I think it's a compliment.
It was meant as one.
See? Not too bad.
All right. They can't figure out how to open doors.
No,
They
just
got it.
Johnny Depp.
Oh, Johnny.
Is he wearing one of those like polos with an alligator on it?
Or is it the guy playing with the little horse, or he's riding the horse with the little mallet?
Yeah, maybe. But that's the thing. He's supposed to be a jock character, and he's just not. He's preppy.
So it's got to be the horse with the mallet, 'cause that's a jockey.
Is this the original preppy and greaser? This is what Saved by the Bell was based on?
It could have. When did that come out? That's right. They went to a malt shop.
I'd say 89. 90.
Remember 90210? They went to the Peach Pit, which was also a 50s greaser
There's
hangout.
nothing in the world that 80s and 90s teens love more than nostalgia for the 50s.
I think I read somewhere that just showed that old people were writing everything and in charge of everything.
Yes, that's how that works.
Whoa. Who did what? I missed it.
Rod tackled him after
Rod.
making noises where it's clear that Rod also had the same nightmare because he's using a tool to scrape things like claws.
So everyone's had the nightmare and he's using it as a weapon against his friends.
He doesn't know they're all having it. He just thinks he had a scary dream. And what would you do? He'd be like, oh, that's kind of funny.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is true. All right, fair enough.
Now, Johnny Depp's character is like, seems to be pretending a lot in this movie he isn't having, but I know he's having because he dies.
Oh, Johnny. This was his first movie, right?
This was his first movie. We were never going to get past this part.
I mean, so far, I haven't seen a single callback that you told me I missed all of.
Well, they're coming.
Oh, yeah? Are they? You told me that the stairs were a callback. I don't know why.
Well, we'll get to that later. Everything happens later. It's not. Funnily enough, Wes Craven's New Nightmare wasn't deciding to take the early parts where we introduce characters that aren't in that movie and recreate those. It was waiting until the action starts.
All right. Teenage smooching. I see what's going on here. Johnny Depp and Nancy.
Well, this reinforces some stereotypes, though, because Tina's off having sex and she's going to die. And Heather Langenkamp's like, we're not here for that.
Were the stereotypes established at this point?
Everybody took them from Halloween.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Halloween was the progenitor of all of this.
If that's a word, sure.
It is.
I don't know it.
I ate it, the origin person, the start of the.
Of some of those tropes, yeah, because Black Christmas, which came first, the lead is pregnant, so she's clearly had sex.
Oh yeah, did she die?
We don't know.
Oh boy,
It's a good movie. Also starring John Saxon, who's in this movie.
who's John Saxon?
It's been 1 week since we did Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Which one was he in Wes Craven's New Nightmare?
She plays John Saxon, who then morphs into her father from
Oh, the sheriff guy,
Sheriff Thompson,
Sheriff Thompson.
Lieutenant Thompson. I don't think it's sheriff.
Ooh,
he
Lieutenant
is.
Dan.
Maybe he's the sheriff.
Lieutenant Dan Thompson.
We'll have to wait and see if they tell us. See, now she has to die because she had sex. Those are the old rules.
He dies too, right?
Not in the scene.
Jokester.
Not in the scene.
Jokey guy and Tina.
But he's going to admit he had the nightmare.
So when he was using that garden trowel or rake to scrape those walls, he's just a jerk.
No, I think he's kind of clever. He's like, this scared me. No, I can use it to scare other people. That's decent.
I scared Fred once, and then she cried and hit me.
Huh.
And it wasn't scared. It was April Fool's.
I don't know. She's scared of a lot of things. Just like Kitty is.
Hey, all right. Quick aside. Did I tell you that Fred, my 10-year-old daughter, didn't get off the bus yesterday and ended up back at the school?
What was she doing? Playing on her game?
I believe so. I think she was, but no one told her to get off the bus, and no one noticed her until she was back at the school.
Did they drive her back?
No, she ended up having to go to the elementary school and get driven back with the elementary kids. So she rode my 8-year-old's bus, who was very confused to find her on the bus.
Oh, man.
I'm creaking. Those were my bones and joints.
No, she's in another nightmare. This movie, it blurs the lines of when these nightmares start.
Oh, I was about to ask, is there any kind of transition or telling point, or clearly not, because you just told me.
Yeah, you know when something starts happening that wouldn't happen.
Okay. But, yeah, right, that's the only time. But you don't know that yet, because this is your first time as a viewer in 1984 watching this.
I don't know what you're supposed to assume is happening. Everyone she knows is in this house. See, I've seen people who watch this movie and are like, why is she going outside watching this? Because she's in a dream. You're not in a lot of control of that.
That's right. There is no control in that. Ooh, I thought she got hit in the face with a pebble. I forgot there was a window there.
Oh, now it's broken.
Uh-oh.
Who's chucking those rocks?
Chucky.
Ooh. He wouldn't be born for another 4 years.
What an identity he had, though.
But if there's one franchise that was born out of this one, it's Chucky. Because he's also loud, obnoxious.
Okay, so is Freddy Krueger loud and obnoxious in this one?
No, not in this one.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you said franchise, not this movie.
Yes.
Oh, is that an alien over her head?
This is him coming out of the wall in a great practical effect that the remake then redid with the worst CGI.
Oh, right. Oh, wait, they did?
Mm-hmm.
I remember, is this the CGI version that we're watching?
No, this is the real one. They had a fake wall there, and he's just pushing
That's
through it.
really cool.
Well, wait till you see how shitty the one is in 2010. Even though this was mastered in 1984, in 2010 they couldn't get it right.
Well, there was that love of CGI there. When it was brand new, people went crazy with it.
How much more expensive would it be to CGI that than to just do whatever they did to make this movie for nothing? You could just put up the fake wall and push through it.
Well, we've talked about it forever. Practical effects, I think, are better. Like, CGI works when it's blended in with a lot of practical effects. Like the new Godzilla movie, a lot of practical effects.
That was all practical. There was a real monster who attacked 1945 Japan.
That's why I like monster movies. It was a documentary.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I know they filmed all the other stuff with, like, the actors and, you know, all the human stuff, but that was all stock footage of the Godzilla attacks.
That's right.
Like Johnny Depp did in Plan 9 from Outer Space. The Ed Wood story.
Okay. You know how he got that job?
No.
Because he was really good in Nightmare on Elm Street. And it just made his career move.
Thanks, Nicolas Cage. All right.
So now we're finally going to be introduced to Freddy, who you named your daughter after, I believe.
No. She was named after something else. All right, so she's walking. All right. This is Tina in her dream. I got to focus because you keep distracting me with talk about Nicolas Cage.
I've not brought him up one time.
Try to be professional. Oh, there's the shadow. The shadow with the hat. I remember him. Oh, Freddy.
This is our first look at him. Well, like he popped out once. See, there's a lot of things that don't hold up great.
Oh, see, I like the arms. I think they looked like that back in 84, but the weird, creepy, dreamy like quality of it, like those long extended arms that look fake. Oop, it's claw hand on the look at the cartoonish running behind her.
Well, that's not really him. And I can tell that because there he is. That was a different actor.
Tricky. Oh, Freddy.
Yeah, all the rules are off in these dream scenes, which makes them really good. Like, this is cool.
Yep, where he pops out from behind a tree.
Yeah, no, David Warner almost played this role.
Who's David Warner?
He was Billy Zane's sideman in Titanic. And he was...
I don't remember a sideman in Titanic.
Jack the Ripper in Time After Time.
I remember the... Ooh.
And he was
Sidney
Prescott's drama teacher in Scream 2, the movie that you don't remember, but it's just is better than it is.
It's way better than 3.
He was in a lot of things, and he was originally going to play this role, and he was a bigger, more intimidating person. And then when Robert Englund came in and just had this stage presence and energy, they were like, oh, we're changing it. He was supposed to be a different kind of intimidation.
Oh, there's Tina thrashing around on the... Ooh.
Now we get to see this up the wall and around kill redone in Wes Craven's Nightmare with the babysitter Julie.
Who had no reason to die.
Oh, what's Tina dying for?
Well...
Now we get to see in the new one, Wes Craven's Nightmare, you get to see Freddy in the frame dragging her up the wall and dragging her across the ceiling. So you get to see this redone from the perspective of somebody seeing it.
Is it done like shot for shot just like this?
Not really, but but it evokes it.
Yeah, it definitely evokes it. I just wondered how far they went with it.
This is the first of the 2 big spinning room scenes.
Spinning room scenes.
They built a set that they could turn. So she's on the floor, but it looks like she's on the ceiling because everything's bolted in there. He's just in front of the frame, so it looks awesome, like she's being dragged up the wall because the thing's slowly turning.
Oh,
and the camera's turning with it.
Didn't
Inception did that?
Yeah, I was about to say Nolan do that in Inception.
Yeah, they also use it.
He did.
They also use it to have the blood come out of a giant dust bed. They just turn the whole set upside down.
See, how much money would CGI cost, and how stupid would it look?
It would look terrible and it would cost a lot more. Although I'm sure building that room wasn't cheap. It was worth it because that's an amazing scene that you never forget.
Yeah, I wonder what the cost of CGI is.
There's John Saxon. Now, with him is an actor who is later the sheriff in Scream.
Scream 1?
Yep. He plays Dewey's commanding officer.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Yes.
I feel like he plays cops a lot.
Yes.
He's just got that cop face.
I think his name's Joseph Whipp, but I can't prove that without using my phone, and I'm not getting my phone out.
I think his name is Joseph Copper.
This is where we find out that this is his daughter, and that's his wife who overacts this entire movie and is incredible.
Does she overact as good as the Sleepaway Camp mom?
Nobody does it as good as that, but it's in the same... They went to the same acting
school
class. Yeah.
Or class. Awesome.
She has great lines like, Freddy's dead, honey, because Mommy killed him.
Oh, right, because Freddy Krueger was an actual person who was a child molester.
Maybe. Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't.
I think they shied away from that in recent movies.
No, the remake's the one where they really went for it.
A remake? Oh, I never watched the remake. That was nonsense.
The original series, it's always child murder, but it's like, yeah, come on.
Yeah, for some reason, I always had the sense that he was a pedophile.
Yeah.
He was a real Jeffrey Jones he was.
Yeah, when they originally cast the part, they were looking for a Jeffrey Jones type.
Jeffrey Jones was busy at the time.
Yeah, doing horrible things.
At church.
Have we ever looked up any of this, or we just keep...
What's that?
Jeffrey Jones stuff.
I feel pretty confident in
I know,
this.
me too, but I read a headline.
I don't even know if I read a headline. I think I might have read an article 100 years ago.
Now, see, the cop character here is very much like what John Saxon turns into, where he's, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, in your dreams, yeah, Freddy Krueger, okay, sure. He even does some of the same dialogue, not from this scene, but Freddy's dead. And she's like, no, he's not, you got to come out and get him, and he just doesn't believe her. And the John Saxon character does worry about the real Heather Langenkamp, but when he turns into this character, he goes back to.
Yeah, I think he walked out of the house there, he had just full on, had the costume on and everything. Or by costume, I mean sheriff outfit.
He was dressed like that.
Exactly. Which meant she was in Dream World.
With a badge at his hip.
Freddy Town.
It's a big kitchen, because they show the other side of it later. It's a big kitchen. They're in California. I'm not sure. They're supposed to be in Ohio.
I feel like kitchens are always big in movies.
Yeah. They're supposed to be in Ohio. I'm going to throw that out there.
Is that where this is?
Yes. They're not Ohio. They're in California.
I think it's Ohio.
This house, the set for this house, is right near where the sets are for Halloween. Original Halloween. They shot in the same neighborhood.
So...
I think it's in...
So what's her face? Jamie Lee Curtis's house is somewhere here?
Somewhere like...
Near Elm Street?
Not far away.
Ooh.
Literally a few blocks, I think.
Different school district, I guess.
which was also supposed to be, was it Illinois? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Illinois, Ohio. Yeah, it's all Pasadena, sure.
The only thing I know about Illinois is that they have a separate building for your laundry.
Yes, I knew that too.
That's what I learned. And also, windows are hard to get out of in those laundry rooms.
It makes sense to have that, though, because it's always so sunny and warm in Illinois.
That you might as well keep things separate. You got to keep them separated. The Offspring tried to warn us.
They tried to warn us 15 years after the movie came out.
Well, I didn't say they were like timely or good at it. They tried, though. They tried their best.
Oh, poor Rod here. They assume he killed her.
Oh, is that what's happening here? This is funny guy who thought it was a joke, and look, now his girlfriend's dead because they did it.
She's even having the nightmares, but she's like, the door's locked from your side. Like, there's nobody else it could be.
Look, it's Copper Cop face. He showed up with the gun. Run, funny guy, run.
Bang.
Why is she protecting him?
Because she believes him.
Look at him run. Oh boy, I thought he was going to get hit by a car.
Why would you run down the road? That's where the cars will be.
It does seem like an easy get.
How'd he get his jacket back?
Where was his jacket?
I guess he grabbed it when he went out the window, but it's funny. He got his pants on. He didn't think shoes. He thought, okay, grab my jacket.
Well, it's a cool jacket, man.
He's lucky it's really, really warm out in Ohio.
It's always sunny in Ohio. That's what they tell me. There was a whole TV show about it.
No, the good question here is, why are you going to school? Now, there's Lynn Shay.
Lynn Shay from that series that I saw.
Bob Shay's sister and in Insidious.
Yes, that was the one. I still think we should have had the sequels where she was a ghost detective with her two little lackeys. That would have been a series.
Yep. It's very early 80s classroom.
The age of the students varies wildly if you're looking at this.
Well, Heather Langenkamp was 20 when this came out, so she's not too bad.
No.
She has a great line later where she starts appearing to age because of her not sleeping well, and she looks in the mirror and she goes, God, I look 20 years old, which is how old she was, but also it's funny because she's supposed to be 18. It's not even that old.
She looks young.
Yeah, she's 20, as I just told you.
Right. I think I would have picked her for like 15 or 16 because
the movie usually casts 30-year-olds.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe it's that I'm so old at this point, everyone looks young to me. Like, that's a kid. That looks like a kid to me.
This is the part I remember most from when I first saw the movie.
She fell asleep in class. And you remember this, and now her friend's in a body bag.
Because it was creepy as shit. This is the first horror movie I ever saw, Pete.
Yeah, you've said that.
My father was managing a pizza place, and he had an apartment above it, and I was with him for the weekend. Divorce. And
Of course.
he rented a Winnie the Pooh videotape for me, and he rented Nightmare on Elm Street for himself after I went to sleep. And then we watched the Winnie the Pooh tape, and he got called down to deal with a problem downstairs.
Pizza problem?
Had to work do some shift or close up or something. And he said, I'll just throw this on, I guess. And I sat and watched Nightmare on Elm Street all by myself.
How old were you?
5.5.
You see this corpse.
This is what I'm seeing.
You see a corpse getting dragged away in a body bag all by yourself at 5.5.
Why I've never forgotten it.
I can understand that. I can't recall what my first horror movie was.
I'll never forget what mine was. And here's one of the callbacks. She's going to turn the corner and run into a student wearing a Freddy sweater, and she's going to ask where the pass is. This is what happens in the hospital, too.
Oh, yeah. Screw your pass. I see. You told me that was a callback, and now I see the callback.
But, she can't tell she's in a dream, but this seems very dreamlike. There's leaves, there's wind in the hallway.
But again, you can't quibble with it because it's a dream.
Yes, and I love how these dreams don't go completely over the top. It's it is weird there's wind blowing in her hair and there's leaves, but that's awesome.
You know what? That's a good point because I feel like a lot of dreams in movies are over the top.
Yeah.
This is a very grounded one, and it is the little things. It's just subtle things off in the world.
I think that post Twin Peaks, David Lynch kind of made people change the way they presented dreams on screen. So it always had to be more, instead of this, which is a very realistic setting, she's walking through a set, there's just things are slightly weird. You had to do it, you had to put it in everything had to be metaphorical and everything had to be, exaggerated or fantasy. to be surreal.
Oh, so you're saying that's why it is now?
I think so.
It is.
I think everybody wants surrealism in their dream sequences, and it's like, and that's one way to do it.
It is,
but I like this way.
It's fun it's fun every once in a while, but sometimes I just want to watch a movie. I don't want to think about it. I want to have fun with it.
Well, the best thing about those David Lynch movies, though, is that they have nothing has meaning.
Well, that is true. Ooh. See, everywhere his outline is always off.
His posture, the reason that he has that unique posture is that the glove was heavy. So it just made one arm slump down further.
Okay, but it works because when, you said the effects for those long-armed, like, clownish type look.
Yeah.
I think it works because everything is off. Like, he was lopsided there. He was weird shaped back then.
It worked as well as it did in 84. I just think it's a silly idea.
Oh, I like it. I disagree. I think it's cool. It's that part of everything being subtly off because your outline is off. His stance is off. Everything is dreamlike.
Now, we've seen Tina die, and she was the main character. So this is one of the better. She could totally die here,
right? Because now the rules are different. You don't have a final girl. That must have been pretty fun to see it back then.
It's a good-looking movie too. I don't think I've ever given it the respect it deserves for how cool some of those shots are with the glove.
Yeah,
this is a good shot. Like this is. I don't ever give Wes Craven enough credit. I guess I kind of think his movies aren't that good looking. This one looks pretty good.
I'm trying to think of other Wes Craven movies. I don't know. I can't remember any of his 80s stuff. I'm just thinking of everything Scream, like 90s.
Yeah, and I don't think those movies look that great.
No,
I think 2 look
agree.
pretty good, actually, but I don't think that...
Because, it's the awesome one.
Yeah.
Billy's Mother.
I just never thought that the original Scream, for as much as I love it, I think it's a masterpiece, the way it looks, it's not doing anything visually that interesting.
No, it's just a lot of people talking, set shots.
I get why. It's trying to look like a modern version of Halloween, walking around the neighborhoods and stuff. So I get that you can't really innovate with it a lot because you want it to feel like the movies that just came before it. But I don't think that it ever really committed to that purpose enough. Whereas this movie, it has maybe it's just aged into having a nice look of an era.
All right, I was going to say maybe that's it, but what I was going to say. I think
what happens is the filmmaking, like especially in horror, like it's just gone 2 different ways. You have a lot of low budget horror that looks terrible. So this is going to look amazing compared to it. And then you have a lot of highbrow horror that is just, looks like incredible. And this kind of just has a unique feel now because nothing kind of looks like it.
Yeah, that's true. And it's probably the cameras too, the way it was filmed. Am I wrong? I don't know enough about the film quality.
Well, this would have been filmed the same way that everything pre-digital was.
But everything went digital like 100 years ago.
The 90s, yeah.
Yeah, that was so last millennium, man.
It was. But this is classic film.
Like the Iliad and such.
What an odd thing to say. I couldn't make it work.
Nope, that was close though.
I tried.
I knew where you were going. I liked it. I appreciate the effort.
Homer.
Dope.
Did you ever read either of those? We had to read the Odyssey in school.
I read them both. I'm a nerd. Don't forget.
I forgot.
I like books.
I didn't say I read it. I said we had to read it.
I enjoyed reading it. I've never read it again.
That's the one where he has Odysseus.
Yes.
And he asked if anybody's smithy by trade or
such, or some such skilled in the metallurgical arts.
The Odyssey is a book I thought I read, and then I watched that movie, Where Thou Art Thou, and they were like, it's completely based on the Odyssey, and I was like, I guess I didn't read the Odyssey because I don't remember any of these things from it. I think I watched Jason and the Argonauts is what I thought. I think I actually did.
That's a solid movie too. Those skeletons popping up.
Yeah, Army of Darkness style.
That's right, man. They stole that from Army of Darkness. Everyone's stealing from that.
Those practical effects.
So practical. It's not practical magic. It's practical effects.
See, this is where Tina finally figures out that, like, oh shit, everything I suspected is true, and now I'm in trouble because nobody believes me.
Oh, because she's talking to Funny Boy in jail.
And he's like, I had a dream. We had knives for fingers. She's like, that's impossible. That we all had the same dream.
Oh, because he hasn't told them yet. He had just told Tina, who's now deceased.
All he said to Tina was no more nightmares for any of us. And he just hints that he has had the nightmare, but he's had the same specific nightmare.
Okay, so now she knows too.
Yeah. So this house, it's like 3 blocks away from. This is a famous moment too.
Why? Oh, I remember this bathtub scene. I don't know what happens, but I remember something, and I remember her being in the bathtub. I could have just looked at the screen and told you that, but instead I remembered it.
Weird to take a bath. Just soak in your filth.
That's what I've been saying forever. And I don't fit in a bathtub. It's just a sad mockery when I sit in one.
Yeah, you have who was the president?
Taft?
Yeah.
He had to have an extra large bathtub. Hey, you know my boy Teddy Roosevelt, the president before Taft? I guess he used to make Taft practice judo with him, and he would flip Taft.
Wow.
Yeah, good old TR.
Iconic shot that was.
The claw coming up out of the water.
The mother's trying to be helpful, but she's like a drunk. And she's like, I made you warm milk. And she's like, gross.
Warm milk in a hot bath.
Warm milk. Gross. She's like, I'm trying.
Her was that a glass that she had that warm milk in? I thought you put that in a mug. Wouldn't it just make the glass hot?
I don't know. She's a drunk.
I see.
And she was kind of proud of herself for being like a good mother.
Why is Nancy sleeping in the bathtub?
Because she's tired. She hasn't been sleeping well, obviously.
Then don't take a bath. Oh no, she's drowning. She's in dreamland. It's Babes in Dreamland. Is that a movie?
Babes in Toyland.
I see.
I believe that has Keanu Reeves in it.
Does it?
No, there was a different thing that had Keanu Reeves in it and Drew Barrymore.
The Matrix.
I'm going to look it up now.
I thought you said you weren't taking your phone out.
I didn't care about the other thing enough.
Why did Nancy lock the door? Oh, yeah, because her mom was trying to give her warm milk. You got to keep that stuff out. Keep it at bay.
What happened?
No, she had locked the door to the bathroom when she was taking a bath. I don't understand why people lock doors in bathrooms.
Because sometimes there's children in there singing Bloody Mary into the mirror.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes it's how old is he? Maybe 3-year-old who kicks open the bathroom door and throws your phone at you while you're peeing, and it lands directly in the toilet, and then you're just peeing on your own phone and you don't know what to do. I mean, it was a good shot for a 2-year-old from the bathroom doorway to the toilet, but man, it was not expected. So I guess that is a good reason to lock the door.
Yeah.
It was pretty gross. I eventually had to get that phone back out. Sorry, I had to take a big breath.
I was waiting for you to cough.
No, I didn't have to cough. I just talked a lot and I ran out of air. I tried not to breathe because I wanted to get all my story out before I ran out of breath. Because, my thoughts are important and you need to know these things. I feel like you do need to know these things.
Johnny Depp's kind of disappeared in this movie for a long time.
I know. He was probably hanging out with Nicolas Cage.
No, it was TV movie Babes in Toyland. Keanu Reeves.
Starring Keanu Reeves.
Sure.
Good for him.
This is a callback to Scream.
This is a callback to Scream.
Well, Scream's a callback to this.
No, I like it this way better.
Skeet comes through the window and she's...
Oh, yeah.
Skeet, who looks a lot like Johnny Depp.
I was just about to say, he looks a lot like Johnny Depp, that Skeet.
This is straight out of that movie.
Star of The Devil May Ride, I believe, which was a Jewel and Skeet Ulrich movie that never came out.
Yeah, I don't think that's the name of it. Ride with the Devil is what it's called.
No. It's no, all right, fine. That's what it is. I came up with nothing.
See, he's still denying the dream, so I can't tell if he's just a terrible person or if he actually hasn't had the nightmare. It seems like he definitely has to have had the nightmare.
Well, the nightmare gets him, so clearly he's having it. I don't know why he would hide that kind of information.
Yeah, look, 20 years old.
I swear to God.
That's a great line.
I hate how people look young. How dare they?
Well, we could play Mrs. Kittner game. You would have gotten this one wrong.
I would have by 1,000,000.
And this is the 80s. So this isn't the early 80s, too. This isn't that far. This is only 10 years past Jaws, 9 years past Jaws. Mrs. Kittner looked 1,000 years old, and she looks 15.
Yeah, that's true.
They're only 24 years apart.
That is weird. I wonder what happened. I think the 70s was just a harder time.
They put something in our water to make us live longer and spend more.
I think it's all the food we eat. We're well preserved.
I guess we don't actually live longer. Mrs. Kittner lived to be like, the woman that played her lived to be like 90-something.
But we look better because we die younger.
Well, we don't, but people on average do.
Yeah. People, not us, look better.
Yeah. Johnny Depp looked better.
Yeah, Johnny Depp looks better. I haven't seen him lately. Has he aged well?
No.
Oh, poor Johnny. He had his pretty boy thing, and was he a good actor?
He was good in Ed Wood.
He was good in Ed Wood.
He was good in Edward Scissorhands.
Poor Edward Scissorhands.
Lisa Frankenstein's very much like Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, yeah? Wait, you were telling me about that. That's the new one, right?
Yeah, it bombed.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Was that the one that's a weird love story?
Yeah, and it makes weird choices. And like I said, I liked it more than I thought it was good.
Oh, that was the Jennifer's Body, Diablo Cody, right?
Yeah.
All right. Look at me knowing stuff. She's in a dream, isn't she?
Yes.
Nancy Kerrigan, not skating through her dreams.
She's enlisted the help of a boyfriend who is very unhelpful.
Don't say that about Johnny.
He's not very helpful.
Johnny,
you know
no.
what? Now that I watched this movie, I agree with Amber Heard.
Oh, boy.
Because he's not very good in this movie.
I get that now.
He has one job multiple times. Just stay awake. And he can't do it any of the times.
Staying awake is tough, man. A wild Johnny appears. That was a Pokemon reference.
I don't know it. I've only ever seen Detective Pikachu.
That was a good one.
Starring Catherine Newton from Lisa Frankenstein.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That is her. All right.
Remember when I watched that movie and I told you, I was like, man, I thought it was really good and I did not see the ending coming and I got emotional watching Detective Pikachu.
Oh, yeah. It's not one that I want to recommend, but I'm like, it's better than it had any right to be, and I enjoy it.
I have no knowledge of anything Pokemon whatsoever, and I watched that movie, and all I watch is horror movies ever. So I watched this children's movie, and it just affected me because it was something new.
Did you never play Pokemon Go?
No.
Really? I went around parks walking around catching the Pokemons. It was pretty cool. I caught a lot of them. One time, I went on a raid. That's where you got to team up with other people and catch the big Pokemons.
Yeah, I would never do that.
It was fun to find a Poke Gym out in the woods somewhere, because like at a park, because you could claim it if you walked far enough away or did the fight.
This feels like a game that was developed by like parents who just want their kids to go away.
That is a very good thought, and it could have worked. But then, do you remember when they were like putting Pokestops at like Auschwitz and things like that?
I do remember that. Yeah.
And people were like,
I do remember that.
Good old, look, people just try to get out there and get some exercise, and everyone's got to make a fuss.
I don't know, people might accidentally learn some history if you sent them there.
That is true, too.
People have been sent to Auschwitz for worse reasons.
Yeah, this is trying to really cheer up the whole demeanor of the place. Is she in a dream? Like, she's got to be in a dream.
Yes, obviously.
Okay. I forgot. I was talking to you about Pokemon, and I forgot what was going on. Ooh, that's creepy.
I know, this Tina, man.
Tina in a body bag is a creep.
She's a creeper.
Definitely a creep. Ooh, a centipede crawled out of her mouth, Brian.
Yeah, now there's a bunch of snakes. That's what I'm saying. This is like, what's the worst horror imagery we got? Put it on her.
That's gross.
5.5 years old. Watching this just in stunned silence in the dark.
Freddy popped out. This is crazy
there's
talk.
Jump scares, there's snakes, there's body bags. It was the creepiest thing.
It's creepy to me.
Doesn't
now.
it look like she's running around the Halloween set?
It does.
I know. It's pretty cool.
Do the cars have California license plates? Pay attention.
100% they do. Here's the stairs. This is Bob Shea wanted this, and the reason it doesn't work is that you can see the next one cut out when she's walking up it.
Oh yeah.
They couldn't just like do one cut.
I don't know if I liked it. Wasn't it all
it's terrible.
CGI, right? In the last one? Was that a Michael
What do you
Myers?
mean the last one?
The last one I watched.
No.
It wasn't. How are the stairs done in the New Nightmare?
Pretty much the same way.
All right. I don't think so. I don't like
Shitty
either one.
Glenn fell asleep. We just had to fucking stay awake.
There's that mirror again.
Mm-hmm. This is where we're going to learn that she can pull things out of her dream.
Oh, she's fighting. Oh, something in the fight with Freddy that's happening now? She
Well,
steals.
she's going to wake up.
With what? Tell me now. I don't want to wait.
What did she pull out? I think she pulls out. I don't remember. Oh, no, this is what it was. The feathers are everywhere.
Oh, right. I remember that. I knew that answer.
She later pulls out a hat when she's in sleep, and that's when she realizes she can pull things out.
Hey, is the Freddy Krueger hat the Michael Jackson hat?
I don't know, but I think they do have some things in common.
I think they do, too. I wonder who stole it first.
I'm not thinking about the hat. He wears a fedora, right?
He wears something. I think that he stole Freddy Krueger's look.
Indiana Jones wears a fedora. Do you think he wears a fedora?
Do you think every hat is a fedora?
Yeah.
There's fedoras and baseball hats?
It's just Italian for hat. There's a look on your face. You're like, that's not right, but it sounds right.
I believe that it might be true. And if I know one thing...
Oh, I'm sorry. Fedora. Now you know it's real.
Hey, it's a fedora. That was my Italian.
Up yours with a twirling lawnmower.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
It is a pretty good one. Oh, Ronnie Blakely, just given what she's got, I guess.
I like what she's got.
Hey, now.
Look at that hair.
Yeah, what is she waking up from?
From sleeping.
No,
obviously.
I don't think she was asleep. Like, she was tossing and turning or getting tossed and turned.
By Freddy?
Yeah,
Imagine
maybe.
if that was her husband's name.
Yeah, I hear a phone.
That's weird.
I thought you muted that.
I thought I muted it too.
Now see, he's got his Letterman jacket on because he's a jock.
Right. I get it.
What sport do you think he plays? Competitive chess?
He didn't have his jockey shirt, so he had to put on a jock's Letterman jacket. What's going on with that blanket?
It's the Poltergeist.
Ooh, you know what year did that come out?
Maybe the same year. No, maybe 82. It was 82.
I see. So that was the real horror. This is just a sad, pale imitation.
Like how they're kind of surprised that her dad's there when he works at this police station.
No. Oh, that was that. So he's been at the police station in that one jail cell. Mm-hmm. The funny guy there who's arrested.
Yep.
That's a weird looking cell.
It's weird that the trait you've chosen for him is funny guy.
Well, because he's a funny guy with his little joke. Not so funny now when this blanket's about to strangle you.
Practical effect, just reverse the shot. I think it looks funny, but it looks great.
Because it adds to that everything is slightly off in Dream World.
Yeah. It looks choppy, but it looks correct in being choppy.
Right. There's something about things actually happening in real world physics that you just can't get with computers.
I'm pretty sure they just, reverse the footage on that.
That's pretty neat.
They're going to he's Freddy, real interested in making this look like a suicide. It seems like you'd want people to know so they'd fear you. And he's like, no, it's a suicide.
Well, Freddy's a complicated guy. You can't really ever discern his motives. You say he just loves children, but who knows?
Neck breaks. Poor Rod.
Not so funny now, is it, funny guy?
Again, I'm 5 years old, watching suicides and nightmares. Nothing like that body bag, though. That shit was...
Tina's good. Does she come back? I kind of want to see more of her.
No, I think that was the end of her.
Oh. Huh. What a letdown.
I think that was the last time we see her.
Are we going to see more of Funny Guy? Is he going to show up in a body bag?
No, but he does have a cameo in Wes Craven's New Nightmare at her husband's funeral. There's like a 2-second shot of him.
There's no way I'm going to remember him from 2 seconds of footage.
You wouldn't remember him if he was the star of the movie, Pete.
What are you talking about? I remember everything. Steel trap my mind is.
We never saw Tina's funeral, but Rod gets one. And this priest is just like not being kind about his death.
Really?
He's like doing what I guess a priest would do and be like, listen, this guy was a piece of shit, but we forgive and we move on and we find peace. And it's like, he's literally die by the sword, live by the sword. Like he didn't even do anything.
He was just a kid, right?
But they all assume he was a murderer.
Oh, that's right. What on earth? I think there's a wild cat has appeared. Oh.
Bye, Rod.
Bye, Rod.
Maybe he wasn't even, his actor wasn't even in Wes Craven's. Maybe it was a ghost because they were at the same funeral cemetery.
It could have been. I don't know these things. I barely remember the movie that we're watching.
Why is John Saxon attending this? Why is Lieutenant Thompson attending this funeral in full dress?
I don't know.
Out of respect for the guy that he assumed was a murderer.
Maybe.
I guess to support his daughter, I guess, but he's just seeing her for the first time well after the funeral. Now they know, because he's bringing up what it is, and they're like, oh, we know who that is, but we can't tell you.
Well, yeah, that's that guy we burned up in the boiler room.
Because parents keep secrets and they don't believe their children. That is a trope of horror.
Yeah, it is. That was
always believe the children.
That's the whole point of Scooby-Doo, as I've watched every Scooby-Doo, because my kids watch it so much, is that, hey, grown-ups lie to you.
Yes.
That is it. They're always the bad guys, and they're always lying.
And Chucky, Andy's trying to tell you this doll's alive, and they're like, yeah, Andy, you're crazy. It's like, just listen to Andy. He could have saved a lot of problems.
But on the other hand, I got kids.
And you don't believe shit.
You know why?
Because they don't say anything true.
They say a lot of stuff, and mine, the oldest one, didn't get off at her bus stop.
There's Charles Fleischer. He voiced Roger Rabbit.
Is that Jessica Rabbit in the nurse's outfit?
Maybe. I think it's Kathleen Turner, so I'm going to guess no. But I think
whatever happened to Kathleen Turner?
I don't have an update for you, so she's alive.
I don't know what the last movie she was ever in was.
V.I. Warshawski.
What's that?
V.I. Warshawski.
Why does that sound so familiar to me?
Because you had TV in the 90s.
And that was a show, and that was Kathleen Turner?
There's a movie called V.I. Warshawski.
What does the V stand for?
I don't know the answer to that.
What does the Warshawski stand for?
I don't know, Pete, but I know we brought it up on this podcast before, and you knew what it was then. So I think you have to go get checked.
So I'm going to guess you don't know what the I stands for either.
She's very important Warshawski.
It sounds like a horseradish sauce.
Cereal Mom?
Ooh, I know her. She was in that movie.
Well, she was famously in one excellent movie.
Which one?
It was
I'm looking at you.
Nicolas Cage and Ma Huang.
That is a great movie. All right, I don't know what I'm looking at now.
She's just having her dreams tested, sleep tested.
I've had my dreams tested before.
I love this. The 80s. Just go ahead and smoke right in this hospital. Like in The Exorcist, where the doctor walks out to talk to her, it just lights up.
Do you think they did that during surgery?
Mm-hmm.
It had a cigarette break?
I'm 100%.
I think you're probably right.
It's like how if you take the first 2/3 of presidents, like half of the first 2/3 of presidents died just because the doctors didn't know what they were doing. Like, yes, there was an underlying cause, but it's also like if they had just the basic understanding of modern medicine, they would have lived.
Medicine wasn't quite a science.
I think that one time they just left a glove in a guy.
I think that happens now. That's like a thing that happens.
I know.
And apparently people keep taking off the wrong limbs when they go in for surgery. Like it's happened on more than one occasion.
We don't get to see this nightmare.
Is she having a nightmare?
She's about to, because she goes into REM sleep and then she's about to go off the charts. We don't get to see it, but this is where she pops out with the hat.
Oh, out of the dream world.
Yeah.
And they say, where you get the hat? Michael Jackson? He was around in 84, wasn't he?
Yes, he definitely was. He was probably burning up in a Pepsi commercial.
When was Thriller?
I want to say that's right around then.
Okay, because I remember my brother had the record, younger brother, and we listened to that a lot, and I loved the video back in the MTV days. Oh, she's dreaming. I see what's happening here.
Now, how many kids are left on Elm Street?
I don't know.
We went over this before. He clears out the town at one point.
I remember you telling me that, but I don't remember any of the details. Ooh, she's got a cut on her arm. What happened, Nancy? Do her parents believe?
No, they still don't. It's insane. Now, here's the thing. It's like, oh, you don't believe I got cut? What about this fucking hat I just got?
Ta-da! She's been practicing magic.
That's not a fedora.
Practical magic.
It is kind of a fedora.
That's a Michael Jackson hat.
I don't know. You act like Michael Jackson is famed for his hat.
His hat and his glove.
I remember the glove.
Mm-hmm. Remember that hat? He would do a little thing with it, and he'd like flip it on his head and like adjust it.
I do.
And then he'd like
talking
slide
about
backwards.
One specific moment in time, not like his famous hat that he always had on.
It's like Indiana Jones's hat. He's known for the hat, the glove and the hat.
I don't think that's what he's known for. I got to be honest with you.
Oh no, another Jeffrey Jones.
I just look. She's hiding her back. I think
that's fantastic. Right by that little TV, she's hiding it.
We're gonna go Family Feud this and ask country people what they think of first when they think of Michael Jackson and see if anybody says hat.
I think that would be like the third or second answer.
I think you're gonna get song titles. I think you're gonna get maybe glove. I think you're going to overwhelmingly get child molester.
Well, child molester is going to be number one. Then it's going to be either hat or glove. And then it's going to be hat if it's not glove.
I don't think it's
or hat the first time.
I'm positive it's not going to be hat.
That's the order I think it's going to go in. 2 or 3. You know what's weird? The kids know who Michael Jackson is now for some reason.
Uh-oh. He's our Freddy Krueger haunting them in their dreams.
They might be, because they seem to understand like all the dancing, but they don't know any of the negative. So maybe he's trying to like sneak his way in again. That's how he gets you. Oh boy.
He'd definitely be a good Freddy Krueger.
He's got the hat already. That's half it.
Oh,
and he's got the
God
glove.
Damn it, the hat.
And the glove. See? Michael Jackson stole the entire look from Freddy Krueger.
And they have similar backstories as when they were alive. And he's also a thin, like this guy, and he's a charismatic.
If Michael Jackson ever wore a striped sweater, I'm done.
And because I just brought it up, the Pepsi commercial, he's a burn victim.
So Michael Jackson just cosplayed a little too hard, is what you're trying to say to me right now.
He was a method actor.
I gotcha. That's pretty cool.
I see Josh Allen's back in the living room.
Yeah, he's back in his rightful. I got to put him away because football season's over.
Yeah, it sure is.
He will not survive the summer of children running around. Guess how much that cardboard cost?
$75.
I don't remember.
Another great game.
I've lost the thread of this movie entirely.
Well, she's having nightmares. No one believes her. It hasn't changed.
That's it? Man.
The horror is that you have to fall asleep.
No, you don't. I stayed awake for 2 years once. I mean, admittedly, at the end, I forgot how to eat bagels.
So it explains a lot of the holes in your memory.
The doctor called it Swiss cheese brain.
That was Quantum Leap.
Was it?
Yeah.
Swiss cheese brain? I don't remember.
Leaping around gave him a Swiss cheese brain. He had a lot of holes in it. You could remember. It was a way to conveniently say you can remember things that happened in history, but you can't remember your own life for some reason.
That's what happened to me. Good to know.
You leapt. Oh boy.
That doesn't sound like me.
You need to drop an oh boy right there.
That didn't sound like me. I don't leap anywhere.
And Glenn just like floats through this movie.
Johnny Depp?
Yeah, he's in it, but he's never part of the action until he gets killed.
Because he doesn't believe. So why would he hang around these weirdos pretending?
Well, it's his girlfriend.
Well, you know.
He also gives her the way to defeat him in the end. He says that because it's not real, you take away its power, you turn your back on it. So he's been reading dream stuff, nightmare stuff. So he's been doing work in the library, I guess. Yep, he sure has. And she's going to home alone that house.
I think more things should be done.
Well, she flat out home alones it. Like Home Alone just rips off what she does. This is years before Home Alone.
Oh yeah.
And there's no other way to put what she does. She is flat out home aloneing the house.
Okay, so she actually does it. It's not just a gag.
There's more than just like one thing. She's putting up hammers that'll drop. She's putting gunpowder and light bulbs. She's cutting holes and like she's completely made the house a Home Alone house.
All right, I remember that vaguely.
And she lights them on fire, which is cool because there's a long fire stunt.
Well, remember, that's what he's afraid of. And Jason's afraid of water.
How do we use that?
How can we use that? But what if we could?
The mother has this crazy idea that for some reason locking her in this house is the best idea.
Now, I assume the mother then, the idea is that she's in denial because of her culpability in the original murder.
No, she knows who Freddy Krueger is. And the only thing she knows for certain about him that she is steadfast in believing is that she killed him. So he cannot be coming after you. So she thinks that her daughter is very sick. Because if anybody knows for sure that Freddy Krueger cannot be bothering her, it's the woman who was part of murdering him. But little did she know. He's coming through the dreams.
To be fair, for all the nonsense my children speak, which is, I don't know, everything, if they say, hey, something's attacking me in my dreams, and they get bloody gashes when they wake up, I'd be like, huh.
Yeah. Or I just got this hat that has his name in it. Where did I get it? You drove me here. Where did I find this?
Oh, I know. The prison purse. That's the answer.
Oh. Is that the behind?
It is.
And she's got his glove in there, which is fucked up.
Wait, that's Freddy's glove?
This is serial killer shit. You murdered someone and you kept a trophy.
Well, yeah, it's like Dexter, right? The serial killer hunting a serial.
Dexter.
I watched, I think, the first 3 seasons, but I stopped paying attention in the 3rd season, which everyone says was the good one. And by everyone, I think the internet told me once.
I like the backstory that they had him guilty, discharged, but somebody just fucked up the paperwork, because that happens.
Oh, that's what happened to Freddy?
And if you know that this murderer is walking around your town who's killed kids in your town, like, yeah, we're going to go murder him, and we're just going to take let's say there's 10 of us, we're going to take 1/10 the culpability of this, and we're going to live with it.
How long before...
I don't know.
Okay, it's never explained.
I'm going to guess narratively, I'm going to say about 10 to 15 years, because I'm going to guess that she was a child when it happened.
That would be my guess, too.
Yeah. But she's dead because mommy killed him. It's a great line.
Right.
I mean, it's a great line, terrible line.
No. The Freddy glove.
Yep. But she could be like, I've been dreaming about that. That's not possible. You have to believe me.
I think a good line for another movie.
Here he comes.
Oh, Johnny. Oh, Johnny. But anyway.
Just stay awake, Johnny.
Freddy should call his glove the Jackson 5 for the 5 claws.
He only has 4 claws, Pete.
He's got 5 fingers.
You have 4 fingers in the thumb. How many fingers does E.T. have?
God damn it. God, E.T. has 6 fingers, and you know that is the answer, and you know it's a point of contention.
I saw a trivia question once.
I saw that trivia question more than once. It played in front of every movie we saw for
that means
like
it was
decade.
That was just playing in 96, and we saw Scream 12 times.
Okay, well, that's possible, but man, that answer is wrong. He does not have 3 fingers, Brian. How many hands do you have?
I have 2 hands, but not everyone does.
How many hands does E.T. have?
Sometimes you go in for surgery to get your foot removed, and you end up with 1 hand.
Yep, that's been happening a lot here.
And a glove in your prison purse.
And a hat in your prison purse.
A hat in your prison purse.
A glove in the oven and a hat in your prison purse. That is my campaign promise to you. Vote Pete. 2018.
I'd vote for you. You have the same memory problems that other candidates do.
The 80-year-old candidates that we have. I'll fit right into these debates.
Except you're 40-something.
Huh? Ooh, landlines. So, what's happening here? Why are they in separate houses? I thought they were in the same house.
You thought that they were related?
I guess I did. I forgot that they're children. You told me they're 20 years old, and I'm like, they have their own houses.
Well, they're in high school, so they're not 20 years old.
But you told me she was 20 years old.
The actress.
Right. But I've taken that to be her in the story. I get things confused, Brian.
Do not fall asleep. Guess who's going to fall asleep? Fucking Johnny Depp again.
That's all he's good at. Well, that and research. He's tired from all the research he did. I get that way when I do my Nicolas Cage research.
He did do some research. I'll give him that.
It makes you
sleep. Look at this football up. What is this?
We need to bring back the belly shirts for men.
I don't know. You've said this before.
I want it back.
I agreed ironically before, and now that I see it like in person, I agree holistically.
This would be something. We brought back the high five successfully.
We did. People don't know that and they don't respect it, but
No.
we did. There was an era where nobody high-fived.
They hadn't high five forever, not even ironically. Being ironic about stuff wasn't even a thing.
And this was pre-fist bump. We're going back farther than that.
Oh, yeah. There's no one high fived.
Yeah.
It was not a thing that happened anymore.
That's true.
And we tried to bring back Velcro, too. I know it's back for children.
No, Velcro has always been there. We tried to make it okay for adults to wear it on their shoes because we shouldn't run away from technology that works.
Right. What do I need? You know what I used to hate, though? When the Velcro got filled up with, like, garbage.
Oh, yeah.
And then you couldn't close your shoes anymore.
Yeah.
But at that point, the shoes are usually covered in holes anyway.
Yep.
Is Johnny Depp about to get murdered?
He says he's watching Miss Nude America on TV.
To his grandma?
Yeah. Well, it's Mrs. Kittner game time. How old is Johnny Depp's mother?
Johnny Depp's mother in this movie? She looks to be, 65. I'm going to say 65.
That's your guess?
She's going to be 28.
No, I don't think she'll be 28.
What's your guess?
44.
Okay.
Same as us.
Nice.
I always guess it's our age.
Nice, safe guess. I'm going to say she's 65. She looks 65. She's probably 28.
All right, let's look it up.
Or something in between those numbers.
His name is Glenn Lance.
Glenn
Mrs.
Lance.
Lance is Sandy Lipton. So let's look up Sandy Lipton.
Oh, heiress to the soup empire. Is Lipton soup still around? I feel like it was. They used to have an instant soup.
The only Lipton I know is the late great Peggy Lipton from Twin Peaks.
You and your Twin Peaks.
Married to Quincy Jones for a time. Rashida Jones's mother.
Quincy Jones was a boy, wasn't he?
Yes, he was a
Rashida Jones's mother.
Motown mogul, who you might know as a guy who discovered Michael Jackson.
Who?
Yeah. Sandy Lipton passed away 2020.
Oh,
Born in 1932.
that's already too much math.
52
Huh.
when this movie was made. It's not too bad.
She's in her underpants. Oh, ooh, there's a creepy face on the wall.
No nudity in this movie.
No?
There's a little shadow nudity when the body double gets pulled underwater, but
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not,
yeah.
Wes Craven wasn't big on
Was it in any of his movies anywhere?
not in any of the Scream movies. It wasn't in Wes Craven's number. Yes, Last House on the Left definitely had nudity, and it was a rape revenge movie.
You know, I've never seen Last House on the Left because it is a rape revenge movie, and I guess I just don't. I don't like watching the rape.
You
part.
hate when they get their revenge.
I don't like watching it when I can't take part.
Oh no, I can't edit that, Pete.
You're the one who took us down this path.
Oh,
My chair just broke. I'm a sad person now.
I was going to say, look, you said you can't fit in a bathtub, and you said you broke your chair. You're not fat.
No.
I don't want people to get that impression. Like you're just a very awkwardly too tall for your ability to move. Look,
Yeah.
you're not that tall. You're like maybe 6'3",
I'm 6'1".
6'1". So
Hey, so
you're
there's
just too awkward to move.
So there's a tall man's club of America, tall person's club of America, sorry. And you have to be 6'2" to get in.
Oh.
The tallest I ever was 6'1 3/4. And now I think I'm shrinking, so I'm never getting in that club. Very disappointed.
I'm 5'11".
3'11" was a band.
You just have more booze hidden. This is how she's dealing with the problem.
We watched something recently where the mother was also an alcoholic. I watched it.
I don't think you watched it with me.
Well, I watched something then where the mother, and it was an older
Are you
movie.
sure it wasn't just your home movies?
It seemed familiar. I'll grant you that.
Are you talking about Memories?
Yeah, there were leaves blowing around on the floor, I think. And
I was going to say, I always bring up the death updates. How other than Wes Craven and John Saxon, there really weren't any. But somehow we found our way to 3 more with his mother, Michael Jackson, and there was a third one that popped up somewhere, David Warner. Like, we somehow always gravitate towards it.
I feel like that's your influence on everything, to be perfectly fair.
Oh.
You look things up on your little machine phone.
Well, it's not my fault. She could have been alive. That's on her.
Who's on the phone? Why is he leaving the phone off the hook, which was something you could do?
Well, yeah, that's something you could do back then. Nancy's trying to call for Glenn because Glenn's supposed to be there when she wakes up, and Glenn's, of course, falling asleep.
Oh, no, Glenn.
We're going to get the famous bed kill, which some people's favorite in the series. Mine is definitely Tina getting dragged up the walls.
All right, I like the Tina going up the wall. Was this a waterbed that Johnny Depp gets killed in?
No, I don't think so.
All right, for some reason I remember it as a waterbed.
No, there's a waterbed in 3 or 4, part 4.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm just confusing.
And a naked lady pops up under the bed in the water.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Because Joey from 3 and 4, his character trait that they gave him was he couldn't talk and he loved the ladies.
That's a character trait for a lot of these guys. She tied her phone up so it can't talk.
It's still talking.
What is she think it's one of those monster books from the Harry Potters?
Like, at this point, you should realize that things are not okay. But instead, we're going to get a famous moment that is then recreated in Wes Craven's Nightmare.
What, a callback? I hear they say.
Yes, a callback. I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
That was cool. The tongue came out of the phone and licked her.
They do that again in the Wes Craven's Nightmare.
I don't remember. When did it happen in that movie?
When she answers the phone.
When did she answer the phone?
When everything starts turning more towards this movie.
Was it before or after the actor John Saxon turned into a cop?
It's when her creepy kid solves the puzzle of the notes that are coming and says, answer the phone. She answers the phone and then the tongue pops out again.
Well, that callback failed because I don't remember it from that movie.
Now you can't remember the call forward.
No, I can't remember. Yep. Oh, even in dreams, her mom is drunk.
I don't think she's dreaming. Glenn's dreaming. That's the problem.
Oh, that's right. I'm so confused. There's too many dreams. Still rocking that cool shirt.
I know. Well, some of it.
Number 10. It's going to be the summer of crop tops and high fives.
Hey, that's not a waterbed.
Do you see how he's getting pulled in like that?
I do.
He got like...
I love this. I love the TV comes with him. Ah.
That's really cool.
Or that wasn't TV. That was the radio he was plugged into.
I want to see this.
Talk about that changing technology. Look at the size of that thing he's plugged into.
It's like the pit in Army of Darkness that Ash was in, fighting those things, and the knights threw him into it.
This was just redecorate that room we got. There's a great line that's in the background coming up that I think is the funniest line in the movie.
Okay.
And I'll point it out when we get there.
All right, you can just tell me the line, because...
When the EMTs come right now, the guy's like pulls out the gurney. He's like, you don't need a gurney, you need a mop.
Ooh, those guys.
You don't need a stretcher up there, you need a mop. It's true.
That is. That's not a nice thing to say, though.
They don't give a shit about what happened. Their job is cleanup.
No, there's not, actually. Their job is just to get the corpse.
Yeah, the corpse is blood all over the ceiling.
No, that's somebody else's job.
You know who had a song called Blood on the Dance Floor? Michael Jackson.
Oh, you mean Freddy Krueger?
Yes. Apparently, we're solving our third solver, the case solvers.
Yeah, the case solvers, that's right. We do solve a lot of cases.
Hey, my boyfriend's dead. This is what he's dressed like when he turns around, I think. This is his casual detective wear. Although he's not a detective. It's very confusing how he's allowed to dress. Very sloppy.
He's a man of many suits.
Yeah.
No. So.
Lieutenant. It was Lieutenant.
When Johnny Depp got pulled into the bed butt first like that happened to a kid in my kindergarten class where we were all sitting at show and tell. Oh, what do you got?
This is directly from Wes Craven's Nightmare, where she tells him on the phone. Here, she tells him on the phone, I know what it is. And then when they're walking out of the house, when he starts turning into this character fully before she accepts being Nancy, he says the same thing. It's Fred Krueger. And then he goes, yeah, sure. Just like exactly like he does here. He turns into the exact character.
Oh, and these were the lines you were talking about where it's some of the were direct quotes.
Yeah, even like that. Yeah, he just turns into the full on character. It's pretty cool.
All right, so there's only been like four callbacks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Still a pretty good movie. I'm enjoying the practical effects. Is
what?
Is she a liked final girl? Like,
yeah, because she's super resourceful.
All right, because sometimes they're not well liked and people don't care for they're surviving.
Like I said, she gets to do this 3 times in 3 completely different stages of life, which makes her more interesting than a lot of them. We get the regular young first final girl. We get the mentor version that's become an adult, trying to help somebody else with their problems. And then we get the meta version. There's really not a 4th way to do it, I don't think so. It's pretty cool that she's...
All right, but at the time, though, she was also well-respected, right?
Yeah,
like, it's not just because she has the whole body of work.
Yeah, this movie was loved.
All right. Especially by 5-year-old you.
Yeah, I loved it. The only other thing I remember from watching horror movies when I was younger, only Gremlins was my favorite movie, so I saw that probably around the same time.
That might have been my first horror movie then.
I saw it after this, though, I know that.
Yeah.
But it was the one I loved the most. But I also remember seeing commercials for Halloween on, like, going to play on USA or whatever when I was at my grandmother's house, and the commercial was scary.
Okay. I don't remember the commercials.
She's just home alone in the house.
She is. The tripwire?
Mm-hmm. So why don't we call it Nightmare on Elm Street? Why don't we call what he did Nightmare on Elm Street?
She's putting gunpowder in a light bulb?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what he did was a Nightmare on Elm Street in the house.
That's right. He did. He Michael Jackson that place up.
Now she's putting an awful lot of traps in here for a drunk mother wandering around the house.
Where's her... Oh, yeah, her dad's the cop. He's out working the case.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's more finding that things have happened because of his not doing anything.
Well, he's got to change those clothes.
To be fair, though, what was he going to do? He can't get in the dream. Not coming after him.
Did he try? At any point?
You know what, Pete? He never tried.
Well, there you go. He is a bad cop. I think Nicolas Cage was a bad cop.
He's a bad lieutenant, just like this guy.
Just like this guy.
Bad lieutenant, Port of Call, Springfield, Ohio. Port of Call, Spring.
Ooh, a Nick Cage movie. I'm back in.
They call them Johns because of the guy that played, what was his name? Robin Colcord.
No, it was Richard Lewis.
That's right.
He was Prince John.
That's right.
There was... I think I was just talking about Richard Lewis for some reason.
Well, the question is, do I tell Richard Lewis?
That might have been exactly what I was talking about.
What second thing would there be to say?
I don't know. I think that's it. Oh, there's that bottle of vodka. I assume it's vodka.
Yeah, she is a committed drunk.
And everyone's just kind of okay with that?
What are you going to do? They got to hit the bottom first.
It was a different time. And she did. Is it meant to be guilt because she killed Freddy Krueger? Or she killed Michael Jackson? I keep getting the two confused.
I think that there is some of that. I think also she's just a drunk. But is this how you put your mom to bed too? Just a bottle of vodka, tuck her in?
No, we
didn't turn her on her side so she wouldn't choke on her own mouth.
Yeah, we usually just turned her on her side and stepped over her and went to bed.
What did they pick up? What did they pick up? That's my question.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Afterwards, so they take the body away, all like, if like whatever, the brains, the blood in that condition, whatever. Someone's got to come in and clean it. The homeowner's just left with that there. Yeah. So his parents got to go sort that out, that room full of blood.
There's probably about as much of him left as there is of Gage in Pet Cemetery, so they can ziplock him back into the Pet Cemetery and get Johnny Depp back so he can be in Edward Scissorhands. It all fits together.
I'm seeing it all come together, too. I didn't realize it was a trilogy.
What's the third one?
Edward Scissorhands.
What's the second one? Oh, that was Johnny Depp in Pet Sematary?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Did Rogue steal this from Heather Langenkamp? The streak in the hair?
I don't remember when she got the streak in her hair, because she didn't always have it.
Yeah.
I think it's when she took Miss Marvel's powers.
Was it post 84?
It was post Golden Grams. Can't get enough of that sugar crisp. Guess I forgot to put the fog lights on.
Now she's in her dream.
She needs to wake up from her dream.
But she's going to try to pull Freddy into reality because she's home alone in this house.
Freddy doesn't like the Home Alones.
Is this going to stop at any point?
This is how I talk forever now. Ooh, it's hard to sing.
Wes Craven said that he didn't like in 2, they pull Freddy in the real world and he's just walking around, which is always weird to me because that's what's happening at the end of this one, too.
What do you mean? I don't remember. Ooh, is there dogs playing poker on a blanket in the background? Because that is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. That's what Freddy Krueger decorated his boiler room with?
I think that's her basement. She's going to go into the boiler room now.
Oh, okay.
So her dad...
There's a lot of basements.
That's like the thing that her mom kept of her father.
What's that?
His poster is a blanket of a dog playing poker.
I don't know if you've ever looked at the wall on my wall there. I've got some dogs playing poker.
Nope.
Yep. I hung a picture of dogs playing poker, Brian, because I'm a grown-up. And I can do grown-up things.
I own very fine things.
These dogs, they play poker. That Josh Allen, he stands there during football season.
Well, you got to get like Brandon Bean, you have to go get a cardboard cutout of a top wide receiver for him to play with.
Ooh, I'll take a picture of myself.
Oh, no. I've seen you play football.
I was really good at it.
It was 20 years ago, and I don't think it's gotten better.
The best part was before I wore contacts, I had my glasses, and I used to have to take them off to play football, so I could never see the ball coming, or I couldn't throw it anyway. But I could never see it coming. It was always a surprise. There it was.
I think the bigger problem is I've seen you run.
No, you haven't.
I have.
No, you have. I don't think I've run ever.
I've seen you run. It was, you don't forget things like that.
When the turtle outran me?
It was second only to watching this movie at 5 years old for things that scarred me forever.
I never ran a mile in my life.
No, I used to walk around the 3 laps with you.
2. By the end, it was 2 laps.
No, you used to run 4, or you could walk 3.
No, I would do 2, and he'd say, "Go sit down, you're done." I'd say, "Thank you, coach."
The thing I always remember about that was that our gym teacher was so old, he just didn't care, but he'd still have to stand there and be like, "Come on, get going." And then we'd be like, we just got to look over and be like, "Okay," and keep walking.
I had to write a report once about gymnastics apparatus for a gym class. It was odd.
Out of sea.
You're out of sea, because that means you hit land.
Is that where we get the word odd from?
Otta? Manapia?
Otters.
So, the kids asked me to spell onomatopoeia the other day. And by the other day, I mean a couple of months ago. And you know what? I couldn't spell it. And I can't spell it now either. That's a hard word.
I'm sure it is.
It really is.
I know I could get close enough that the autocorrect will fix it for me if I typed it.
I don't like to use the autocorrect. I don't have the autocorrect. Mine does it little pop-ups at the bottom.
Not on my phone. I'm talking about typing on a computer.
Oh, what now?
Yeah. This movie was pre-computers in the house. Computers existed, just weren't in my house.
84?
They weren't in my house. People had Apples.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Out, but I didn't have one.
I had an IBM fairly early on. I used to sit there and I could type out all the animals from my zoo books because that didn't have any games or anything.
I didn't get a computer for a while.
I didn't get the internet for a good long while.
I remember the first time logging into that internet. It was the craziest thing. Because you're in a chat room and like, is there real people on the other side of this? And nothing makes sense because it's brand new technology to me.
That was weird.
And you used to get 100 hours from AOL. You had to dial up. It was crazy.
It really was. It was so weird.
It was very weird.
And very annoying, too.
Yes. The whole system was bad. Your phone line was taken up by it. And people had to use those phone lines for things.
Somehow, I remember once I connected to like the wrong phone company, so we were like calling out of another city farther away instead of it was like a long distance phone bill or something. Oh, that's right. There was she's gone out the window. That was a Violent Femme song.
Oh, was it really?
It was. I had it on the CD.
Yeah, and then somebody looked past it and said, "Don't want that one."
Did she jump out or she fall out? I wasn't watching.
She jumped out.
You're not supposed to jump out of windows.
She thought he was going to follow. She's trying to grab him. She only has seconds left.
Got him. She's fighting roses. Oh, Nancy. Is Nancy Kerrigan the one who got hit?
Yes.
Okay. Who was the one who hit her or hired somebody to hit her?
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie. Barbie?
She played Tanya Harding in the movie I, Tanya. That was a good movie.
Okay. I didn't see it.
Jeff Gillooly.
Who?
That was the guy she hired.
Jeff Gillooly?
Jeff Gillooly.
Gillooly. Ah, Freddy's back. Yeah, coffee.
But now he's in human form. Now in Pog form.
I forgot about Pogs. Ah, good old Pogs. They were just little circles of cardboard with pictures on them, right?
Yeah, they were like trading cards, but you could...
There was a game involved, too, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, you tried flipping them, and if you flipped them, you won them.
Oh, my gosh. I had Pogs because they were a thing that everyone collected. I didn't know what to do with them.
Yeah, I did, too.
I feel they're a lot like NFTs.
I don't know anything about NFTs.
I know that
I understood what Pogs were.
I think they're not real things, and you just have pictures of them.
This cop that's going to end up being in Scream is not as good of a cop in this movie.
Ooh.
I mean, I guess he wasn't that good in Scream either. He solved nothing. But he's going to stare at
Freddie, no.
Nancy screaming over there and breaking windows, and he's just like, maybe I should go tell the lieutenant. Like, do you think?
Better kick it upstairs.
The lieutenant told him, I want you to watch the house. Tell me if anything weird happens. And she's like breaking windows and screaming out there. And he's just like, huh. Does this count?
I didn't realize it. You're 100% right. It is very Home Alone.
It's 100% Home Alone. It's a blatant ripoff what Home Alone is.
Tripwires, hammers, exploding. Freddy keeps coming.
Yeah.
He's like the Wolverine. He's got the claws.
Now, if we're going to get one of the all-time longest fire sequences.
There's them dogs playing poker.
Now, the story behind this is they told the stuntman, yeah, just go down and we'll get the shot and just go down and we'll put you out. And he just kept going. He's like, I can keep going. So he goes all the way up the stairs. Wasn't supposed to. He's just like, I can keep going. He should have cut already. And then they just have him going the whole way and going back down the stairs.
Oh, he comes back down too?
He gets knocked down. None of that was in there. He's just like, I can do it. Let's just keep going. Because that dude's just really on fire.
Right. That's amazing.
It's unbelievable. This is what I mean. This guy's going to go back up again. This is all still a shot of this guy on fire.
I swear there's rules that say you can't do that now.
Yeah.
It's why you only see people burning for a few seconds.
I think there might have been rules then. He was just like, just keep going. I'm just going to keep going.
He was the Human Torch in disguise.
And he was perfectly fine. Nothing happened to him. That's insane to me.
I wonder what he had on. I mean, that he
had a red and green sweater.
He had a Michael Jackson hat.
Yeah, Michael Jackson glove.
A Michael Jackson glove. Good. Now that they got backup.
Freddy got back up too. See? He got back up the door. The basement. Now, this is why, as much as I love this movie, and I think it's absolutely a classic and a great movie, it just can't be that 5 out of 5 masterpiece to me. Because things get dumb.
I like the fire footprints.
Not this.
Okay.
I'm talking about the ending. What comes after this?
I don't remember.
Some of this stuff gets so dumb, like they couldn't figure out how to end the movie.
What is that? He's attacking...
No, it makes sense. He's attacking the mother. She killed him.
Oh, yeah, right. And he's in the real world.
Yes. So
Still
that makes
burning,
sense.
I see. A cozy threesome. Yeesh.
Bye.
Why? Wait.
No, this is what I mean. None of this makes sense.
Right, so Freddy can now go back into the dream world?
That's a very poltergeist moment, by the way.
Yeah, Poltergeist came first.
I know. That's a very poltergeist. Well, that's what I
You
mean.
know what?
They didn't know what they were, how to end this movie.
That might have been my first horror movie, was Poltergeist.
Oh, is that why you pretend it's great?
What do you mean pretend?
Well, it is great. It's why you pretend it's better than it is.
Better than this.
At least he cleaned up after himself. You don't have the burn marks. You don't have even the body to deal with.
Yeah, not like poor Johnny Depp's parents.
What do you think he's feeling right now? Like, I didn't. That was my ex-wife, and she was a drunk, and I guess
they weren't even married?
Well, they weren't living together. I'm assuming they weren't.
I never put that together watching this movie.
You thought he was just, like, always at work?
Yeah, I really did. I only ever really saw him at work or hanging around.
He walks in, is like, asking her, like, why was she even staying at her friend's house? Like, he has no idea what's going on in that house.
Right, because he's always at work changing suits.
Yes,
he doesn't
he is.
have time to figure out what's going on with the home life.
And trying to figure out this Michael Jackson mystery that we solved for him 40 years later. This movie's turning 40 this year.
I guess it is. That's how math works.
Yeah.
Why'd that door shut? Freddy's not dead, is he?
Well, we're going to get another call back to Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Call forward to Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Where when she accepts who she is, that she's Nancy again in Wes Craven's Nightmare. He comes out of the bed, pulls out. This is where it comes from. Him re-entering.
It's super cool.
But here's the problem. Is she dreaming again?
I don't know. Or is she in
the
reality?
ending doesn't make sense.
Okay. You know, I remember that too.
But I love it in Wes Craven's Nightmare when she says, "I love you too, Daddy," and then he rips out of the thing because he's allowed back into the world now because she's
accepted it. Yeah.
This is when she takes Glenn's advice and is like, "I turn my back on you. I take all your power away." A real gamble. This will work.
Yeah, right. I'm going to try that the next time I get mugged. No, you have no power over me.
That would be hilarious.
I am looking away.
You know what? I take all the power back I gave to you. Like
Turn
they'll
around.
just reach right into your pocket and take your wallet out and be like, "Thanks." That reminds me of, I told you last time I talked to you last week that the David Byrne story of when they got mugged in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy that was mugged with him said it looked just like a cartoon. There's just like three guys carrying him away into an alley, and he goes, "Uh-oh." And all I could think about when I think of David Byrne is, first of all, he's like my favorite artist, and number two, uh-oh.
All right.
So now
That's
she
pretty solid.
walks into a dream, maybe, or that was all a dream. Who knows? But we're going to get...
Her mom's alive, so I assume it's not real.
Or was all of that a dream, and this is real?
Is this the end of the movie?
Yes. And we're going to get one of the dumbest looking things, and I believe the story is Wes Craven didn't want it. They did not end the movie. Bob Shea was like, "I want this thing. I don't care. The effect looks great. We're going to use it." And then I believe that there was, like, the honest to God truth is Bob Shea had it edited onto the end of the movie after Wes Craven turned it in, and before anybody could do anything about it, it aired, and Wes Craven was like, "Whatever, fuck, I don't care anymore."
Wow. All right.
Bob Shea was tough to work with.
That's what you've told me.
This effect of her getting pulled through the door feet is hysterical because it's so bad.
All right.
This is fun. This part's fun.
Everyone's still alive.
Yeah, but they're caught in this never-ending nightmare, and even if they were the first time, this is going to happen again. But what's coming up here, this part.
Okay.
I like this. I like this part. I like.
Yeah, the car, Christine came alive and drove off with him.
Here comes the stupidest ending. The part. See, if this had just ended here, that would have been pretty cool. But nope, we got to have this. Watch her get pulled through this door.
That's how you got pulled through. Have you ever pulled anyone through a door?
Why couldn't they just stay on the kids as they pulled away? It would have been a perfect ending.
Was that the special effect they wanted?
Yes, pulling a rubber dummy through the door and its little feet clanking on it as it went through the window.
That's awesome. So that was it, huh?
Yeah.
5 callbacks, call forwards,
I think there was some other dialogue
5
stuff.
throwbacks.
We solved a Michael Jackson murder investigation molestation investigation in the middle of it.
That's true. And I don't know how we're going to tie Jeffrey Jones to it, but I know he's involved.
Yeah.
I know it like I know today is Friday.
It's Thursday. I mean, it's Wednesday when this comes out. It's Thursday when we recorded it.
It's Friday. I just discussed this with you.
Is it Friday the 13th?
Yes. My mother once asked me, can you imagine what would happen if Halloween is on Friday the 13th?
Does she understand? And Best Boy Grip.
Best Boy Electrical. No pure Best Boys on this one.
No.
So
Swing Gang.
I know where I want to be.
You think Rod was in the Swing Gang?
Of course he was.
Small crew in this.
I've noticed that for a lot of these older horror movies, they're very small crews.
Animal Wrangler.
There's
That's for
always
the
an animal.
snakes and that. Yeah.
Yep.
Those are the only animals that were in the movie. That goat at the beginning.
That centipede was real.
Yeah. That I just like to think that guy didn't deal with snakes. There's a different guy. He just did the goat at the beginning of the hallway. That was his whole thing. Was to have that one shot of the goat.
Hey, Sam Raimi. Why did he get a special thanks?
Because I believe. Oh, I don't remember now.
Well, Sam Raimi got a special thanks in this movie.
Well, this is
and
post
I don't know
Evil
why.
Dead, and Evil Dead did a shout out to. Was it the Hills Have Eyes?
Okay.
I think that's right.
I don't know.
Oh no, they were watching Evil Dead. Why don't I remember this? Yeah, they were watching Evil Dead. I think
Oh, okay. Dun dun.
because they did that callback, and I think Evil Dead 2. There's a Freddy glove in the. In
the shed.
They were doing things back and forth on that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I might have known that once, but then I forgot. Now I know again because you told me.
And now the movie's over.
The end.
With no best boy. So, Pete, what did we learn? Michael Jackson is not the best boy.
He is not.
But there's a lot of similarities between him and Freddie. A lot more than I ever thought about before.
I haven't figured it out, but I feel like we're at the beginnings of a case. My senses are tingling.
I feel like we're at the end of the case.
I don't know what the case was.
Guilty.
Guilty, Your Honor.
Yeah. All right. So
another episode of Animal Court.
We did that so you could learn stuff, and I feel like you learned nothing except the Michael Jackson time.
Well, yeah, I did learn that. So, congratulations. All right. I got nothing else.
All right. Well,
thanks
see you
for
next
coming.
week. Thanks for
Ba-dum-bum.
Thanks for having me. Go to scarelly.com.
.com.
Remember, if we get in trouble ending it, just go, oh. Can you give me one of those?
Oh. Ayo.
You could have just said no.
No.
All right. We'll see you last week for Nope.
Nope.
We're recording out of order, but we'll see you last week for Nope.
Last week, same time, different channel.
Same channel. All right. See you later.